Hello, welcome back to Healthy Happy Families with a Natural Parent. I'm Annaliese Jones, naturopath and medical herbalist, and today I'm talking about making sure that your kids don't get every single bug that's out there now that we've sent them back out into the world. So, some of the things that are really important, I'm going to talk about the nutrients that you can actually purchase and give your kids towards the end of this. We're going to talk about some of the food that you can get those nutrients from to start with. It's always the preferable way. But really what we've done is we've been in isolation and we've broken the chain of transmission of not just obviously COVID-19, but all of these other viruses that we tend to start getting this time of year. So there's been a huge reduction obviously in colds and flus because of being in lockdown or quarantine and just not having that contact with other people. And you know, bugs need bodies, they need our bodies to actually survive, and so without those connections we break that chain of transmission. And so you know, there's been a massive reduction in colds and flus, but also things like asthma attacks, because often asthma attacks come on post a viral infection that can be the trigger for them. Any other respiratory illnesses apparently are hugely down on the same time in previous years. And so it's interesting, isn't it? It really shows us how much some of these practices like washing our hands, etc., and not sharing our bugs around really can make a difference. So obviously kids get colds. They get about 7 a year, and that's normal. We want it just to be a little sniffle and then they can kind of move on. We don't want it to go into being sinusitis or some kind of a lung infection, like a secondary bacterial lung infection is a sign that the immune system needs a little help. But a little sniffle here and there is okay, and in fact a child that never gets sick is not a great sign either. It's their immune system's way of maturing and learning, and so it's okay. But when we've been away from bugs for a long period of time and our immune system has not been exposed to other people, then sending them back out there, they often will pick up a lot of things. It's kind of like that first season at daycare. It's going to feel a bit like that. So I just say let's keep them armed. I think it's a really important thing for their immune system. It was a really helpful thing really for them and for the whole family really to have our kids not picking up all the bugs and bringing them back into the home. So to start with, obviously we want to think about our immune system and the nutrients that are really helpful for our immune system and the things that stimulate our white blood cells, and a big one that we always talk about is vitamin C. So it is abundant in our fruits and vegetables. So it's just a matter of making sure that they're getting enough fruits and vegetables. Usually we want to, at each sitting, be getting at least a fist size, so their handful of fruit or vegetables. So you know, obviously as they grow that becomes more and more, and we want a variety. Really important that we don't just only give our kids broccoli because that's all they'll eat. So we really want to, from a young age, you know, get them eating a variety of different phytochemicals from different vegetables, because that's how they're going to get that full complement of nutrients and antioxidants. But vitamin C is the most important one for their white blood cell activity and for their immune system to have that great first line defense through their neutrophils. So what we want to do is make sure that, you know, instead of only treats and sandwiches and things like that in their lunchbox, they're getting some cut vegetables and also some fruit as well. That's one way. Do lots of lovely soups, big tray bakes, do veggie kebabs if you need to, whatever you need to do to make it exciting for them, but get those veggies into them. The other thing that we want to think about is zinc. And so zinc we get from nuts and seeds. We also get it from red meat. So if you're a meat eating family, then you want to get some red meat into your little ones. Again, it's about the size of their palm, so that changes with age, and we want to get that 2 to 3 times a week if we can. If we're not eating red meat, that's totally fine. We just want to make sure we're having nuts and seeds every day, and that will provide that zinc that we need. I'll talk about, you know, the way to get it in a supplemental form if you've got fussy eaters just towards the end. So the other thing we want to think about is vitamin D. So I'm just keeping it simple with three nutrients today. Vitamin D, obviously we get from the sun, and here in Australasia we are starting to have a lot less sunlight hours, so we want to make sure that we are getting sun when we can. So, you know, the kids are probably outside at lunchtime, which is great. We also want to make sure that on the weekends we're spending lots of time outside with some of our, they say about 30% of our skin exposed, so that we can actually synthesize that vitamin D. We get a little bit of vitamin D from things like cod liver oil and also from butter, that kind of thing, but mostly it comes from the sun. As far as supplements go, what we can do is take some of these things supplementally. Ideally we get it from food, obviously, and then vitamin D from the sun. If you would like to take vitamin C, you just need to make sure you don't take too much. It can cause some diarrhea. You know, each age actually has a different dosage range, so you need to look at the product that you have, but that is fine to give to kids generally from about 2 years upwards, but just take a look at the dosage and obviously take into account how large your child is for their age as well. Always make sure that they've got some food in their tummy, and that is especially true for zinc, which I was going to talk about next. So for zinc, it's a very common toddler and primary school age deficiency actually, and yeah, I'm not sure why that is, but it's not high in our soils here in Australasia, so that could be why perhaps we're not eating good quality meat or our nuts and seeds enough. So, you know, it is common to be low, and it's a big cause of immune deficiency, you know, in this part of the world. So you can add some zinc in. Generally for little ones, you can get it in a liquid drop form, and so again it depends on age how much you're going to give them, so just check on that, but always give it with food or they're going to feel really nauseous and they're not going to like you for that. The other one is vitamin D. Now a lot of us are low in vitamin D, and it's because we're so sun smart, and we need to be. It's a complicated issue. But we can take vitamin D in a supplemental form. You can get it in liquid form as well, which obviously is much easier for little ones to get it into them. So you can look out for that. Again, dosages do vary. If you've got any questions at all, let me know. But don't forget that rest and sleep is the best medicine. Great for our immunity, so make sure kids are getting lots of good sleep. Make sure also that they're not overdoing the sugar, because that really detracts from our immune system's ability to fight infections. Any questions? Just send me a DM. All right, guys, good luck out there. Bye-bye.